Evening, folks. It's time to put out a video that we've kind of long been expecting. The tractor finale. My daughter has enjoyed brazing over the years, and she's enjoyed some welding, and she's actually getting pretty decent at it. So this winter, actually, it started 2024 winter. She decided to take some parts I had around, some bolts, some nails, some pulleys, some washers, and some nuts, and she wanted to build a tractor. She originally wanted to do it for county fair, hoping to get to state fair, and it kind of turned into hopefully a gift for somebody in the future, because it's a really nice thing. She did a lot of assembly at the beginning, just trying to figure out how to make it look like a tractor. She wanted black wheels, and she wanted that, red Farmall type look to it. Yes, we bleed green here on the farm, but we also have red toys, so it's neat to look back at heritage, and our family farm was built off of Farmalls before they became, what they are today, which is sold out numerous times. But regardless, she had to do some sanding and then braze some washers on, and then do a little bit of trial and error to figure out how to get the pulleys to run in a way that she could put bolts together to make a tractor. And it was a little bit tricky for her. She monkeyed around a bit. I gave her ideas. I gave her suggestions. She's trying to follow a picture that she saw online, and it's not the best picture. It's a single one-sided picture. No directions, no anything. So with that in hand, we just tried our best to see what we could do. I had to help her get things torched a bit to get the metal bent. She's bending a washer here for the seat. She had to go through quite a few brazing rods to kind of get her engine together the way she wanted. You can't really call them six-penny bolts, but she used anywhere between 8 inches and 6-inch bolts. She used a couple 4-inch bolts. She had to move things around and really work with magnets to get them to stand the way she wanted. We had to try to come up with a smokestack, which turned out to be a hex bolt that she decided to use for that. And boy, we went through the brazing rods. But she's learned a lot. First of all, when it comes to kids, when you weld, you certainly want to be careful. There's a lot of sparks. There's arches that can happen. It can be high voltage. Brazing is just kind of that perfect tool. I mean, yeah, you got to worry about them maybe burning themselves on something that they touch is hot. But it's fine detail work with kind of like a mini torch. It's like a microacetylene torch. So it works out really well, and her talent and skill is going just tremendous. This video I shot in almost its entirety was pretty close to 3 hours. So that's shooting maybe 5 minutes of each piece she did, which took her probably 25 or 30 minutes. So she literally has hours into this, folks. And that's not including the paint. That's not including the assembly of the board, and that's not including the hay. So here you can see she's put a bolt on the side, kind of look like an engine. She's got her front wheels there on. She's got her back chassis on. And she's really trying to just brazen in her steering wheel there. And she's really doing a good job. And it cleans up really nice. Sure, it looks ugly at the moment, folks. But once she starts doing her final braze over the top, she's got herself a tractor that starts looking like a tractor. I went to Fleet Farm, picked her up some tractor and implement paint that was the same as Case IH, and she went to town spraying it, basically. And there's several coats on this to make it look nice, and it doesn't look cool yet, but when you put the black wheels on and stuff, it's really going to come to life. Now, in between the coats of paint, she did have to do some sanding. She found some spots where she didn't quite braze it the way she liked, and she started working on a trailer. And the trailer was interesting because we're going to use nails to do the trailer. So taking bolts and welding a frame together and putting a couple washers for the back of the haystack on the trailer was easy. But then figuring out how to put a tongue on it or a hitch, and then figuring out how to put nails on it and not over braze the nails was a little bit tricky for her. She really had to be quick and light. Now again, she's wearing a winter coat because at this point it's about the end of March here and it's still pretty cold out. She did a lot of her fine detail painting in April. She had to do her hay bales in May. And then we did some touch-up work in making the demo board that she was going to take it to fair on in June. here we sit in July. The project is finished, so to speak, but she did, and I'll tell you the end of the story, win a trip to the fair. So to the Minnesota State Fair, her project's going to go, and we'll have to see how it does down there. I'll have to give you an update on it. The nails, we didn't want to go into the fair sharp, nor would you want to give them to somebody as a toy with sharp nails. So she had to file and round them off. She had to come up with washers for the wheels and nuts and figure out how to place them to see if they'd, roll back and forth. It took her a little bit of time. There was a lot of planning involved. Literally material-wise, I'm probably into this for only about maybe $25 or $30 worth of metal. But gosh, I'm probably into it for 60 to 80 bucks worth of brazing material. So it's probably well over $100 to make this tractor. And then we got done with that, she wanted to put hay on it. I don't have any hay bales this size, so we decided we'd use cardboard. And we just kind of came up with a method that would work for us. We measured the distance of her wagon, figured out how many large bales would fit on it, and decided to cut them out of cardboard with the hopes that we could decorate them up to look like hay bales. Well, my wife had the idea that, grind up some alfalfa. So she just kind of cut up a ton of these little pieces of cardboard. She took glue and glued them together. Yes, that's a super glue, but it works on cardboard and it goes pretty fast. And then I tried to put them together so she could have lines. And as you can see there's a couple in the picture that have lines. And the way I figured out how to do that is with a knife. I kind of cut grooves in them. It took me a little bit of time, but I didn't want her cutting herself. And I learned real quickly how to cut grooves. So that way there'd be a spot for her to either wire or twine these up. And again, we kind of made them look like great big 1-ton square bales. And that turned out to work pretty good. So these are all glued at this point. She's ground up in the Ninja food processor a whole bunch of dry alfalfa from the field, and I put lines on them. Then the next thing to do is just take glue and figure out what type of glue we could make the alfalfa stick with. And we're thinking we were going to maybe use a craft glue, but actually the best glue is the tight bond, thick, really heavy, thick stuff. It seemed to really grab the alfalfa. It dried clear. It dried hard, which allowed the alfalfa to really bond, which was excellent. And that's what she needed to cover these up. The other thing is we were going to try twine, but we couldn't really get it to knot the way we wanted to. So she ended up falling back on wire. So they have a wired look to them, and that's fine. Wire is easy because it comes in so many different gauges at like a Menards or Home Depot. We just had to find a fine enough one that she could twist and pull down tight. So here she is using that tight bond. Instead of, dripping it on, she's more like mushing it around with a paintbrush. And then in that Tupperware container, she's got a whole bunch of alfalfa. And it's pretty dusty. And what she does is she just fills absolutely as much of this cardboard up with alfalfa as she can. And because of the glue, it just dried on and it looked really, really cool. So if we ever do any future projects that need hay bales, this would probably be how we do it. The bales are light, they're fun to play with, and the alfalfa becomes like a rock on it, which I don't think is going to irritate any little boy or girl playing with a metal tractor like this down there. As a matter of fact, they'd probably just love this. So really, what a neat way of doing it. I was really proud of her and all the time and effort she put into this. I'm hoping the judge at the state fair will give her congrats for doing this, not just as a girl, but with the intent she has to give it away and make some little kid's day. At the county level, the judge was great. He was awesome. He loved it, and that was really, really nice to see. He gave her some suggestive comments. He asked her a lot of construction questions, and I'm pretty sure she was able to handle it well. So here she is taking the wire. She's going to loop it around and twist it down, and she's going to try to get this into the position she wants so that she can make this look like a hay bale. I'm really proud of her. At this age, 12 going into 13, she had a birthday right in between the middle of this project. It takes a lot of stamina to put together a 4-H project like this. It takes a lot of courage to sit with a judge that is going to ask you questions for 10 minutes and kind of analyze your project one-on-one. And soon, like I said, she'll be down at the Minnesota State Fair with this, and it'll meet another judge, and it'll meet it in a conference setting where you're sitting with 5 or 6 kids A lot of times they're boys that are better welders than her. It'll be interesting to see how she does in industrial tech welding with a project like this. But she really did well. Here on the tongue, she decided to add a magnet. So she put a nickel cadmium magnet on the front of it. And we're kind of getting into final assembly at this point. She chose to paint the wagon black to make the hay stand out better. The washers and the nuts are red to kind of make them look like hubs on the black. The nuts are red, the washers are black to make them look like wheels with hubs on. And that's how our wagon turned out. Tractor wise, again, black wheels. We're going to make the smokestack black. You'll see that in a minute. And then she ended up with kind of like a, how do I call it, like a black tip on the steering wheel where you have the spinner that goes around. And she just tried to make it as cool as she could, as simple as you could. She cut herself down a piece of plywood. Because we're intent on showing this at the fair, she wanted to display it. This object did get damaged at the county fair, so she's got to do some repair on it. It did get quite a bit dirty and scuffed up with the kids, but it worked well. She painted the smokestack black. Here she's using a black paint marker to do it. She did the little nubbin on the wheel. She grabbed her hay bales, and then she laid it all out. And I got to tell you, regardless of how it does at the fairs, I'm really proud of what she put together. I mean, this is a cute little setup. I absolutely love how it came together. It pulls nice. It really will be a neat toy for some little kid. We had to kind of figure out how we wanted them stacked for the picture, but there it is, folks. Over probably 50 hours of work in it by her, well into $100 with Dad on this project. I'm tickled pink as to how this ended up looking. It's going to be a wonderful gift for somebody. I hope they can really appreciate it as much as Julia can for putting this together. Thanks for watching. I hope you take on a fun project like this someday with your kids.